The IEC have been a complete disaster in this election. It was our biggest opponent that wasn't on the ballot paper. And I think they're going to be responsible at the end of the day for at least...
We want a recount so that we don't go to court. Because we don't want to say to South Africans, we are spoilers. In the Free State, these results are completely, it's not just a story. The results are cooked. And we have engaged the IEC because in terms of the objections, we must object before 9 o'clock tonight. We are following that procedure. That's what the lawyers advise us to do. Let me take you to Kronstadt or Excelsior. There are ballot boxes and the ballot boxes are empty. But there are results given to us and other parties as act. We have screenshot from our party agents some of the result slips signed, but no results. People have signed an empty thing. Excelsior is our strong base, so you can't try and rob us there. So that's where the boxes are missing. You go to Kronstadt, they have just caught some people with IEC papers and boxes. You go to Bethlehem, where we get 30, where we get 300, the results say we've got 30. So we have been monitoring this. You can go to Velcom, you can go to our base in Mangaung. Out of 134,000, we are getting 890. On the ground, that is not a true reflection. And that's why if we can do a sample, even a recount, we can go to the farm in Harrismith, we can go to various areas, you will actually see here in Bramfisher, where a family went, and this is a family of a leader of ACT, went to vote, 8 of them. The result there is 0. I can take you to Loforeng in Soweto. Empty boxes, special votes. No special votes. The boxes are empty, as well as Bramfisher. So there are many instances, and I can tell you, if we do a recount in the whole of the Free State, I think the IEC will be in trouble.
Part of the objection that you are going to lodge, is it to do with the recount?
We want a recount so that we don't go to court, because we don't want to say to South Africans, we are spoilers. The Constitution gives us the right to lodge complaints and disputes and objections, and here we come with tangible proof of what has taken place. You go to Sasol, the presiding officer is sitting alone in the office, busy writing, filling the forms. And one of our members found him red-handed. And he has gone to the police, affidavit, and all the pictures are attached.
So what is the IEC doing? So have you engaged the IEC, maybe even in the province, about this?
We said they must report, they must report all these things. And it's up to the IEC to then say, guys, you are not lying or you are lying. And then go to do a recount in Excelsior, do a recount, go to where we got 0, go to Mangaung, where 134,000 people voted and we have only 890 votes.
Okay, just moving towards closure. So have you lodged the objection? I just want to get this one very clear before 9.
The objection has been lodged. Some of our people are at the police stations. They are busy with affidavits. They are sending photos because they must attach everything. Remember, they are taking oath. They can't just lie. And the results, if we open one station, one VD, and we count, and I'm making a practical example with Excelsior, a can of worms will be open in the Free State.
So you basically saying the results that show ACT, for example, doing poorly, are not a true reflection of what happened?
Without any hesitation, it's not a true reflection.
Okay, so the IEC hasn't given you an indication, though, other than that you have lodged this objection.
The IEC said lodge. We'll take it from there.
Okay.
That's what the rules are saying.
But what is just, I'm going towards closure now, what is your overall impression of this election in 30 seconds?
My brother, in the Val, I can tell you, our votes have gone to Action SA. I will show you now a paper which has been signed, a result slip signed with no results, an empty seat signed with no results.
Okay, I think this issue will have to be dealt with quite seriously. Unfortunately, I've run out of time.
It must be nationally.
Thank
No, this
is a watershed moment for South Africa. Look, the IEC have been a complete disaster in this election. It was our biggest opponent that wasn't on the ballot paper. And I think they're going to be responsible at the end of the day for at least 1% of vote worth of votes share for us. Long queues, voters repelled, turned away, unable to exercise their democratic right. You've got one job. You've got 5 years to prepare for it. And this is the omni-shambles that you produce. And I think there needs to be a higher degree of accountability by the IEC for what has happened. Because you can't be spending this amount of money. You can't tell us you're election ready. When concerns are raised, you brush those aside and say, no, it's all fine. And then we see the omni-shambles that happen on election day. We are considering, I've got my attorneys here, we are busy looking at a variety of options because I think that the IEC are, for all parties, have caused significant damage to our share of the votes. And it cannot be business as usual for the IEC after this election. We gave them another chance after the shambles in the 2021 election, which we believe cost us the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, because the same long queues, voters being fed up and leaving the queues. We're not going to let them get away again with a second omni-shambles. We need to sort the IEC out. They need to be fit for purpose. They need to be able to do their job properly. And we cannot ever have a situation like we had. And I want to thank those voters who stayed in the queues during the course of these very difficult 24 hours of voting. Thank you for staying in the queues. And I promise you this, we're going to hold the IEC accountable for the 8, 6, 5 hours that people had to stand in the queue to vote. And for all of those South Africans who never again will we allow the IEC to go into an election as ill-prepared and shambolic as clearly the situation was in this election.
How would you rate your performance as DA leader?
We've grown. I think that's good. We've won significant support back. We've won new voters. I'm very pleased with that. And I hope you're going to be all asking Mr. Ramaphosa and Mr. Malema and all the people whose parties have declined, how they rate their leadership. What you want as a political party is to grow. We've grown. I've been very pleased with the result, and I think it provides us a good springboard for the 2026 local government elections, where we look to take more metros away from the ANC and to complete the electoral demolition of the ANC's majority wherever it may exist.
To describe your job as safe at this stage.
Pardon?
Would you say your job is safe at this stage, based on the provisional outcome?
Well, of course my job is safe. The DA's grown. All of you in the media wrote us off. You said I was going to get 17% of the vote. You said CNAs could never grow the DA. I've got more black votes than Mr. Maimani got when he was a leader. I think the DA is very happy with my performance. I'm happy with my performance. I'm very happy with my party's performance. And we're strong. We're ready to contest in the 2026 elections. And we're ready to keep growing, because that's what it's all about in politics. We're going to keep growing.
Mr. Steenhuisen.
I think the DA is on track for a good election result. We're back in business, and let me tell you, a party with 22, 23, 24% in an era when no party's got a majority becomes a major player when it comes to determining the future lay of the land, so to speak.
There's a lot of chatter about the multi-party charter and how it has served as a opposition parties that are in that election. We're seeing how rightly actually will say results are fair in comparison to the not to compare the two parties, but not receiving that same benefit as the DA. How do you reflect on this? Was it a direct strategy for the DA to bring this opposition in order to gain this increase in 2024?
No, not at all. We entered the multi-party charter because we believe then, and we still fundamentally believe, that bringing together people around common shared values and principles is going to be the way we proceed. Obviously, I am disappointed in some of the results. Actually, they told us that we're going to bring 10.56% of the vote to the table. I made an undertaking that we would bring the bulk of what would be needed to get to the 50% plus one. Look, I still think it's early days. I said there's urban areas have still got to come in big numbers. But yes, I mean, it's been my desire for the multi-party charter to go over the edge. This wasn't a strategy. We made sure that we assisted with funding. We helped some of the smaller parties. We put in touch with donors so that they could run their activities. And obviously, I would like to see them doing a bit better. But this is what the people have chosen to vote, and I think we've got to respect that.
And then, of course, we're looking at the national ballot, and we can see what is happening because the NCP and the NK party, they've not been able to under that third spot. Now we're looking at the DA to see is that relationship and that coalition with the ANC will actually form come the end of those results being declared and the next government for South Africa.
Well, look, I mean, I think it's a very good day for South Africa. When I said, tomorrow is a better country, well, today is a better country. We said for the last 30 years that the way to rescue South Africa is to break the ANC's majority. We've done that. They're going to end up in the low 40s. And that obviously opens up a whole new universe for politics in South Africa, for us to break the log jams and to start building something better for the people of South Africa and our country. And we stand ready to play our role in it as a responsible party and the second largest party. But as I've said before, we've got to wait for the results to end before we can start with any major discussions. But my first port of call is going to be with my multi-party charter partners. We have 10 other parties. Once the final results are up, we will have a meeting and we will discuss together what we think the next step forward should be for us to work together. We've built an enormous trust over the course of the last year of working together, and the joint policy synthesis that we've been working on, the joint approach, has led to, I think, quite a good working relationship. And so I would like to chat to them before we open up any other discussion. I'm not reading anything out of this stage. I'm just saying that I think it's too premature to make a call either way, and that my first loyalty and commitment is to the multi-party charter.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Steenhuisen, so please.